Okay, now we're going to do a little cleaning. First thing you want to do is pop these little felt pieces out. This one's here actually they look like they're pretty good shape. I must have cleaned this one recently. So all I do with these, I take them, some brake cleaner, spray it on there. Spray each one of them, and I blow this off. Hopefully that didn't mess up our sound. And then they're good. Look like brand new. So blow that off. So now we got those cleaned up. Then all I take, I buy these rags, Home Depot. They don't dissolve in solvent, so they work really well. All this is just lacquer thinner. So I'll take some lacquer thinner and hit the camera. Take and wipe those off. I would wipe these until you don't get any more black gunk off of them. And that's all it is, really. Like I said, this one is fairly clean. Sometimes I have to take some sandpaper to them. Sometimes I take some Scotch-Brite to them. I'll do another video when I get one in that I have to actually sand the rails. And that way there you can see what to do. But for now, this is one that's not too dirty, but it's dirty enough that it needs to be cleaned. And then all I do is roll these. I don't soak these wheels because the wheels are lubed for life, is what they call them. So if you spray brake cleaner on the wheels, it'll get into the sealed bearings. It'll take the grease out, and then you ruin the bearings. And the bearings are about $50 a piece for those little wheels. So you don't really want to do that. So I just roll in the wheel in the spot on the rag where the lacquer thinner is. Just wipe the crud off. Like I said, this one's not very dirty. Some of them are really grungy. And then when you put these things back in, just get them started. Push them in with that little screwdriver. Like so. Like I said, when I get one that's really dirty, I'll make another video on really having to clean them. This one's pretty simple. And as quick as I clean it, you could clean it the same way. Shouldn't take very long. Excuse my messy shop. So now I've switched over to Tri-Flow. It's got a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? it's got a little bit of solvent in it. That's the word I'm looking for. It's got some solvent in it, so it helps to break it down. The oil works better. Everything about it works better. So I'm not using BoShield T9 anymore. I'm using Tri-Flow. And it works way better. So anyway, if you don't have some Tri-Flow, you're going to need to get some. And then I just take a Q-tip. The way I oil these rails, I have get these off of eBay. Or if you have your oil that came with it, just dip your Q-tip in the oil. And then just wipe it, make it wet. Like so. All you're doing is spreading that oil on that whole bearing surface. The part that's ground, that's shiny, is your bearing surface. The rest of it is a CAD plating. That's why it looks kind of grungy. CAD plating is just a coating on the steel, so oil, fingerprints, dirt, it kind of jacks it up. I don't like that part of these bearings, but these bearings are the best ones I've found for the last few years. These are the Italian bearings. And it doesn't affect them. It just looks like crap after a while. No way around it. And then once you've oiled the rails, I'll put oil on the little pads. And the pads are basically to pick up any small dirt that gets on it. I put a little oil on the wheels. And then when you look at these, if you notice this one and that one, this one sits lower. So these two centers are the adjusters. And you can also tell by the two outers are black, centers are silver. So these are your cams, these are your adjusters. So if you notice, the two outside ones are lower than the two center ones. These two ride to the top of the rail, these two on the outside ride to the bottom of the rail. So when you put this together, make sure that the outer ones point down, because it's going to sit like that. So you run that in, oil up this one. Same thing. If you look at it, two outer ones are down, two center ones are up. That means it goes in there just like that, so that the two facing down will run in the normal position. And then that one feels okay. That one feels maybe a little noisy. That's a little noisy. That might have a bad wheel on it somewhere. So anyway, that's how you clean them. And then next would be putting it all back together. So we'll do that on the next video.